Today, I want to talk to you all about a very interesting cult. It is an old cult, and it is subscribed so widely by people all over the world and for so long that it has become more of a religion. Now, this religion is, of course, a false one. We know what the true religion is. This religion is very specific. In fact, it is the cult of specialized success. Now, like any cult or religion, it has many false doctrines, even places of worship and places of learning, temples, if you will. Some of these temples are very, very old, almost 1,000 years old. These old universities, now they were not originally built up to this cult, but they have been since taken over by it. Yes, these temples are, of course, universities. Universities where they teach you a vast host of things, but they tell you only to choose one. That is the cult of success, specialized success. That if you want to be successful at all, you need to be successful in only one thing, and one thing only. This, of course, is the definition of the world. The definition of success, according to the world, is, you will have money and power and gain and popularity. But that is not really the best metric of success, at least by my standard. And we'll get to that a little bit later. But they say, you can have money, you can have power, you can have gain, whatever you want. If you just, all you have to do is learn about one thing. And in these universities, they offer you to learn about everything. They say that you can learn about the entirety of the universe. It's in fact in the name, university. And yet they say, yes, you only need to choose one. They have a whole key ring. All of the keys of the universe they have, but they say, you only need one. You choose one key, and that will open up all the doors you need. That's weird. Well, certainly it's not true. Now, it'll open up, allegedly, all the doors you need in that one field. You choose what you're going to specialize in, choose the one thing you'll learn about, and you will open up all the doors in that path, in that hallway. But that also doesn't seem right either. In fact, they say, here we have a diagram of the whole of human knowledge, at least according to universities. You have this central node right here, and everything just comes out. This is all of human knowledge right here. You say, let's just pluck one, and here's your straight path to success. You follow that, and you don't even have to worry about the other ones. Now, this leads into another false doctrine within this cult, not nearly as widely taught in universities, but it's certainly believed by people who go to universities. And that is that, if you choose your one domain of knowledge, and that allows you to escape from all the other domains. And you might say, I'm not a math person, so I'll become an English teacher, or I will, I'll work in something, I'll even go into medicine, as long as I don't have to do math. Well, you're not going to be able to escape math. It's everywhere. It is literally everywhere. Somebody else might say, I really don't want to, I really hate writing, so I'll just become an engineer or a statistician or a computer programmer, and then I can escape writing altogether. Now, certainly both of these contentions are false. You're not going to be able to escape math completely, and you can't escape writing completely. And the idea that you can, the belief that you can escape any bit of human knowledge so you can just forget it once you get out of high school because I'm not going into that field, that idea can be highly detrimental. You won't won't be able to accomplish the work you need to do when it comes up, because you've completely dismissed the fact that you ever need it again. Highly detrimental, and it's an unfortunate false doctrine of this cult. So if this is the sum of human knowledge, why does it feel a little wrong that they're just strands that don't connect? Well, that's because it is. It is false. Because, as Brigham Young taught, there is no truth but what belongs to the gospel. Well, that makes it seem like all truth is connected to itself in at least some sense. A much more holistic view, you might say. So then the sum of all truth looks a little bit more like this. A whole bunch of little nodes with an infinite number of paths leading to each other. None of them necessarily converge at one point, but they all connect to one another. Maybe it's something like this. A whole bunch of worlds in parallel, but with infinite paths to each other, surrounded by all else. These, I don't think, are the best descriptions that exist, but they are very good ones of what the sum of truth and knowledge is. So, it's interesting that at universities, one of the things that they try to do more than anything is get you out of university as soon as possible. The academic advisor is my arch nemesis. Their entire goal, their entire job, is to get you to plan out your classes so you can get them out of the way as quickly as possible so we can get somebody else to pay. But I'm paying already. Why don't you just want to keep me? Well, they want you to get out into the workforce so they can say they have all these qualified graduates that are very successful. They can market better, maybe raise tuition a bit. Well, it sounds like a plan to me, but not a plan that is in the best interest of me or students or society as a whole. Let's say I was an electrical engineering major, and I go to my academic advisor. Okay, so what classes should I take? Well, if you want to graduate as soon as possible, which obviously you will, because if there's a delay in your graduation, you won't be as successful for some reason. Well, then you're going to want to take the all the general education requirements that double count. You want to take as few general education requirements as possible because you have so many specialized engineering classes. Oh, okay. But what if I wanted to take a Shakespeare class or Bible as literature? Oh, no, that's not a double count, so you're not going to want to take that. Okay, well, what if I want to get a minor? Oh, so if you want to get a minor, then you should do a math minor. That's really good. You only have to do one extra class, and so it's really, really easy to get the math minor as an engineering major. But it's only one extra class, so I won't really learn anything more. Oh yeah, but you get this extra credential, and it's not very much more work, so it's perfect. But I'm here to learn about stuff. I mean, I would love to learn about linguistics or something. Oh, that'll take kind of a lot more. So probably shouldn't do that. Do you see the problem here? See, now I will likely be going into statistics, but with a statistics major, I'll also be getting probably 3 minors along with that. A minor in logic, a minor in mathematics, and a minor in linguistics. Now, I haven't told an academic advisor about this because I'm afraid at their reaction, and I'm afraid they won't let me do it at all. But I'm going to minor in these things because I'm interested in them, and I see the connections between them. I really do. In fact, just this semester, I've taken classes in all 4 of these fields, and it's amazing how interconnected they are. It is really, truly amazing, but nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about it at all. And it makes me sad. Because the universities have not been in the business of showing you the connections between fields for a very, very long time. In the past 50 years, the idea of success has been completely synonymous with getting a college degree as soon as you can. And so I'm not sure that there are very many people at universities nowadays that realize all the amazing connections between domains. Because they're specialists. They're here to do their research in their field, and so they don't really look for the connections always. Now, I don't want to rag on specializers too much. Obviously, if I need a heart surgery, I want a cardiac surgeon and not a general surgeon. But I also want my cardiac surgeon to be able to see a problem with my lung or my liver while they've cut me open. So, general knowledge is important. And specialization is just as important, but it's not something to be worshipped, as it has been in recent decades. There are different classifications of people in the world today. We have amateurs, professionals, and experts. A professional is somebody who makes money doing something. An amateur, while it does seem like an insult nowadays, is really just somebody who isn't making money doing a particular thing. And an expert is somebody who knows a very large amount about a particular domain, a specialist. But experts don't have to be professionals in the field they're an expert in. And if they were, where would the challenge be? Where would the learning come from? When I was in high school, I played trombone, and I was pretty good. I was the best in school, and certain teachers that I had argued that I was the best in the state. And I didn't really buy that. That just didn't seem right to me. But the university in the city I lived in, they actually called me up and asked me to play with them. They offered to pay me for it. So I went from being an amateur, completely an amateur. I'm a high school trombonist. That doesn't grant me very much knowledge in the subject. But I went from being an amateur high school trombonist to being a professional. I was a professional. I was by no means an expert, but I was making money doing this. Now, was I successful? Well, by the world standards, of course. I was making money. I mean, that's what more success could you ask for? By my standard, I was definitely successful. I was playing with really good players, and that's what I loved to do. And I was also making money on the back of that. Of course, that's success in my book, absolutely. But had I not been paid to do that, that still would have been success to me, because that was an opportunity for me to learn more. It was an opportunity for me to learn, and it was also, every time I practiced with them, a great opportunity to be happy. So, being an amateur does not mean you're a loser. In fact, I am an amateur in basically everything I do. I'm an amateur linguist. I'm an amateur gospel scholar. I'm an amateur mathematician. I'm an amateur Georgian speaker. Well, that one might be a little bit arguable. But who cares? I mean, I'm a professional at basically one thing. I do some data entry work on the side occasionally. Now, do I love that? No. Am I an expert in that? No. But I'm a professional. Do I love it? Yeah. I don't really like it that much, but I'm making money. It's helpful. But it's not what fulfills me. Fulfillment is a really good measure of success. But universities are not interested in pure personal fulfillment. I mean, they give you the options to study what you want, but also they, in a lot of ways, don't. They discourage it in so many instances, and it's really disheartening to me. I really wish we could get more people to see the beauty in generalism and in seeing the paths between these worlds. Now, if we as students were willing to take a little bit more time, not graduate in 4 years, and study what we wanted, with still an assurance that we would have a good paying job. I mean, I'm going to be studying statistics. So the beauty of statistics is you get to play in everybody else's backyard. But I'm going to learn other stuff too. I'm not going to learn just statistics and mathematics. I'm going to learn linguistics. There's huge demand for statisticians in the field of linguistics. And I'm going to learn logic. Logic that's how you think. I'm a big fan of thinking. So, if we had more people, more students that were willing to study what they wanted, I think we would have a better society. We would have people who were willing to not only learn, but to teach. People who are willing to teach, I think, are inherently happy people because they're sharing a love and they're sharing a knowledge. We're here at universities to learn. We're also here at universities to teach. And so my desire is that everybody realizes that we should be learning about the universe here at university. All of it. Or at least as much of it as is interesting to us. So, go forward and find success. Not as the world subscribes to it, but as you want to define it.